And my grandfather said, you see the stroke in this body? The same process in nature is called drought. You know what drought is? Drought is the process when nothing grows in nature. So you see what is going on with this guy? He's having a stroke. Like this same process is drought in nature or whatever. One side of the body, nothing is happening. Like this problem, the way you fix it is how you fix the problem in nature. So when there's drought, how do they fix it? You till the soil, you put some either fertilizer or compost, minerals, and you put water. Like the same thing. If anyone seen some of my videos or whatever, I've been able to help people who've had 10, 20 years of, stroke. When doctors say, oh, you'll be like this the rest of your life or whatever, and I've been able to help them, just being able to apply. The act of medicine, it's not rocket science. Despite all of our inventions, we've been to space, created the automobile, we've done all these amazing inventions. But guess what? We do not even know how to take care of ourselves. Why this disconnect? A human being, we can build an automobile, we can build an airplane, but when it comes to our bodies that we spend time with, you clothe it, you feed it. Every day you do your hair, you do all these things to it. When there's something wrong, you have to run to someone else. No animal is doing this in nature. So if you think you're smart and you cannot figure out what is going on with your body, my grandfather said you're the biggest fool there is. He's like, because this is one thing you spend. Animals are not. So why are you? What do you study? You see, they're constantly teaching us every other thing to know about, we all know about everyone. But when it comes to self, this is why the ancient Africans, they constantly saying, man, know thyself. They constantly sing it. They've written this on the pyramids because they knew that a time will come where we're going to be so disconnected, we're going to be running around thinking we know all these things, but not knowing. My grandfather talks about a principle to be considered blessed. Like the 3 principles for one to be considered blessed. That the first thing when one is blessed, God gives them the knowledge of health. He gives you health first. It's like, because without health, you can't do anything. The second thing he gives you is knowledge. And the third thing, this is actually an African proverb. The third thing, he gives you all the mature things. It's like, so when you're born, you come into this world, the things you must figure out in this order. And once you have money first, trust me, you can see people who've had money first. The money kills them. Because now if they were eating 1 plate of food, now they eat 10. Guess what? They die. So even when I consult and I do coaching, when I meet CEOs, I'm like, the more money you make, the less of food you should eat. And so the question is, what is food? Food is to nourish the body. So if you take a piece of, a dead carcass, you put it in your body, and you eat it, and you expect to be alive. No one has ever eaten anything dead and lived. Everything that's dead has to be buried. You can argue all day, but I was born to eat this, you're trained. Why do people really even eat meat for? They eat it not for meat eating sake, they eat it because of the seasoning. When you begin to understand a lot of things we've been engineered on how we do a lot of our behaviors. If we had a potluck in Florida, in Atlanta one time, and one of the guys was like, oh, we eat meat, me and my family eat meat. So we decided to bring 10 chickens, live chickens. When we're feeding everyone, we gave them the chickens alive, and everyone was like scared. I'm like, oh no, I told you eat meat. Every meat eater, right, because they have claws, they have the canine unit, they catch their meat, they kill it, they eat it raw. We're the only ones who eat meat cooked. We don't know that even when we cook it or whatever, it becomes a carcinogen, becomes a toxic, a poison. So they were terrified by the chicken. And I asked them why. I'm like, if you eat meat, this is how meat eaters or whatever. And right there, they got the point. So my grandfather always said, how many of you ever lost a loved one? Anyone lost a loved one? Yeah. Why didn't you eat them? They're dead, right? Okay. So sometimes when you say this in America, people are like, ew, that's nasty. And my grandfather said, yeah, it's nasty. If you take a piece of meat, you put it outside. You take a piece of vegetable, you put it outside. Just leave them out for 2-3 days. You can't stand the smell of your home with the chicken or the fish and all those crackers, the smell. But with the fruit, you can stand. So that's why a lot of the things that were being sold, from the deodorant to all the lotion, the perfume, So people eat like that. If you don't eat those things or whatever, then you don't have a strong body odor.